So we will be talking about Bitrix24 Drive. That is the desktop app and the file sharing module in Bitrix24. So document storage and then the desktop app, which has significant features beyond file storage. A word about Bitrix24 to begin with. Bitrix24 is a collaboration platform, meaning it is a tool, a cloud-based tool that delivers a social intranet for your company that includes things like task project management, online documents, we'll be talking about that particularly, calendars, calendar sharing, a CRM, a fully fledged CRM service, and then several other tools and application and communication instruments for inside your company. It also has, with the telephony and with what we call the extranet, it has tools for working with clients outside of your company. All right, I'm going to go ahead and open up my demo instance of Bitrix24. This demo instance has a large amount of data in it, so if you have only recently created a Bitrix24, this is going to look a little bit different simply because of all the stuff that I've got in it. Let's go ahead and get right to the file storage. Okay, request to talk about louder. In fact, maybe I will put my microphone up. All right, so the is that too loud? Is that too loud for anybody? We'll try that. Okay, we'll try this and we'll keep going. All right. In Bitrix24, there are 3 types of file storages. Each user has their own personal file storage called My Drive. Okay. When you open that up, it'll look something like this. Okay, moving back here. Each work group, including extranet work groups in the paid versions, has their own drive. I've already opened one up here. Okay, so here I'm inside a work group, and I've got my file library here. And then down under the company heading in the menu, there is a company drive. Each drive is a separate entity. Okay, there is communication among them. I will show you that, but it's important to remember that My Drive is going to be different for each user because it's their own personal library. Each group has its own drive, and then the company. So when we're going to start here in the company drive, we'll start off with simply the functionality of the document library. There are a lot of different functions and features that you can access from here. As you can see, there are grid functions for these documents. You can move them. Okay, you can just a moment. You can delete and edit as a grid function. When you click on one of these action buttons, you get a large list of options. So you can open, you can download, and you can share an item. Let's take a look at that just for a moment. Share this file. This is an external link, okay? That link is a download link that I could send to you right now, and you could download this file, despite the fact that you do not have any access to my Bitrix24. I can create multiple links if I want. I can have time restrictions, and I can create a password for this. So if I go ahead and click that, I'll get another link like that. All right. Okay. And so when you see that, when you see this link here, that means that there's an external link created. So let's move on. You can lock for editing. Okay. So that nobody else will be making changes while you are editing. And then you can access the detail page of the document. We will do that momentarily. You can copy the document link. That is for an internal reference. So that's going to give me a link inside the portal that I would be able to put in the activity stream or something like that. Right? History, that's also available in the detail page. Business processes, we'll get to that in good time. I can rename right from here. Okay. And then I can also change access permissions. So when you open up a file library, it's likely that what you're going to want to do is edit one of these documents, make changes in it. Now, as long as you are, as you can see, I've got a demo file here. As long as you are logged into your Google account or into your Office 365 account, okay, you can edit this live. And in fact, this will support multiple persons editing. Oh, no, did I lock it? Just a moment. This will, the Google editor will support. Here, let's just do this here. It will support multiple people editing simultaneously. Okay, so here, let me open that up. Okay. Oh dear, that's well. Let's go ahead and okay. And I can go ahead and make changes here. Make changes. And if somebody else starts making changes, it will indeed show me those changes, and it'll mark, it'll say, Robert has made this change, and it'll show up in a different color. Okay. So when I'm done with those changes, I X out of that, and then I hit save here. Okay. Okay, and then I will. Yeah, let's try previewing that again. I think we're a little bit short on bandwidth. Okay, and then let's go ahead and go to the detail page. Each document has a detail page, and you can see in the change history that it has been changed. And this is correct. It is 9:10 p.m. where I am. Okay. Right. So we have and then in this change history, obviously, you can recover any of these former versions of it. All right. Moving back to the properties tag. So this is what the detail page of each document looks like. You've got the main properties. You can download it. You can upload a replacement. Okay. You can create the change. We saw the change history. You can look at any business processes on it that have been run or are running. Okay, this one isn't just running; it's actually waiting for me. That's what that little exclamation mark means. Okay, and here I am. I have to approve this thing as well. Okay, versions are that is for when you want to. You're creating a draft, and then eventually you're going to publish that draft and replace the document. So that is that is specifically for creating workflow, new workflow versions of the document. Oftentimes that is, in small companies that is not used very often. Each document has a discussion thread and then access permissions. Okay. Now, it's important to make a few notes about access permissions. First of all, I'll go back to the drive. Access permissions are located up here in settings. Okay. Now, depending on what access permissions you have, you will see more or fewer of these options. The business processes, I will show you how that works as well, because this needs to be turned on in the group or the company drives. It is not there by default. If you don't have access, if you only have read access to a document, you won't be able to edit it. Okay, the same thing with as regular access permissions work. Okay. So let's take a look at settings up here. This is for the root folder of my company drive. Okay, so I have given, obviously administrators have full access. I've given everybody edit rights to the root file. All right. Now, I am logged in as an administrator, of course. Okay. Now, obviously, I can change this. I can say, okay, I want everyone to have read rights. Okay. If you have read rights, you can download it. You can download the document, and you can preview it. Used in business processes. Okay, while we're here in the settings, you need to mark that if you want business processes to show up. Okay, that is not turned on by default. Okay, now, in order to add, suppose I want to add, I want to give additional access to someone. Okay. I can choose from individual users. I can choose from departments from the company structure. Here's my company structure as found in the company structure set menu item. Work groups, okay, social network groups. Those are your work groups over here. And let's just say that I want, I want this person to be able to manage this whole thing. Okay, I want her to be able to set access permissions, to turn business processes on and off, everything. Okay, so I just put her in there, give her an access level, and I save that. Okay, now I'm looking at this as an administrator. If I look at it as a user, okay, so here I am just a regular user back in the company drive. Okay, so I'm looking at the company drive. I'm logged in as a regular user. I see this is being edited by Danny White. Okay, if I've got a box here, that means I can edit it. Okay, oops. If I don't have a box here, like that one, okay, and that one, HR downloads, that means I can't edit it. All right. Now, suppose I want something from HR downloads. Suppose I need something from there. Okay. So here I go in and I don't have any files here. Okay. But And I can see that there are security policies, okay, which I can open up if I want to. I don't think there's anything in there, okay. Okay, yeah, there's nothing in there. And I can also, is that doing it? Okay. And I can edit the incoming requests. Okay, so take a look at these. So here I can upload, okay, and create folders here. Okay, but if I go back here, I've only got these buttons. I don't have the other buttons here because okay, again, inside HR downloads, I don't have edit here and I do there. Okay, so if I open that up, I get more buttons across the top. All right. And then all the way back in the root, okay, I see that I don't have edit rights there. So my editing rights can go up or down as the folders get deeper in the library. Okay, there are several questions going on. I'm going to have to answer the questions later, simply because for time purposes. Okay, so once again, so your access permissions at the folder level can go up or down. On the individual files, okay, you can only increase the access. Okay, so in this thing, okay. Oh, let me go back to my administrator. Now I'm the administrator. If I want to say, okay, suppose I need to expand access on this document. Okay, I can go into the access permissions on that particular document, and I can increase them. But you see here how it's inherited here. Okay, I'm not going to be able to limit that. I can't limit somebody on an individual document. Okay, on a folder I can. Now let's go ahead and go back to business processes. When you mark that box that I showed you, marking for business processes, you can come into here and you can look at the business process templates. Okay. Now I've created a large number of templates, at various times. Some of these though are the standard ones that come when you engage business processes, including this one. Let's take a look at this template. Okay. And this is pretty simple to understand. It is simply a flow chart where I send a message to somebody and I ask for an approval. And that person either approves it or they don't approve it. Okay. If they do, then another message gets sent to, I'll show you in just a moment here, gets sent to the second set of approvers. Okay, here they are called voters in the parameters. Okay, so I had this first group, I had the second group. The second group, one person or more approves it or does not, and then an email message gets sent back saying, it has been approved or that it hasn't. Okay, the status is set to approved and the document is published. Okay, other things can be done in here. There are a large number of actions that you can do here. You can modify the document at some point, meaning when I say modify the document, I don't mean editing the document. What I do mean is that I could set the status to something else. I could change. I could make changes in the, for lack of a better term, the metadata that is associated with the file. I can also save the history at some point in time. Here's what that approved document looks like. Okay, you can take that, drag it into here, and then just start working with it. These are the settings buttons, and then and some of these actions are for the CRM. This module shows up in the CRM as well, but it is available here in the document libraries as well. Okay, you can see the conditions that are the constructions that are available and interactive settings. This is really this is the last thing I'm going to bother you with on this. User notification. This is a little bit younger than this email. That gives you the opportunity to use an internal message using this, the instant messenger inside the product. Okay, which came from down here, this mini panel. So you can send an email message, you can send an internal message, or you can send both. Okay, you can also set tasks, set calendar events, and you can even set absence chart events on that. Okay, so this is very robust, and it allows you to. The main thing, it would be approving documents. So as you can see, there's a brief description of what goes on. And then we have these parameters. We have these two sets of approving people, whether they are, whether it's one person or, as you can see, it can be more than one person. All right. I'm not gonna go much further into that. What I am going to do is go ahead and then show you what happens when you actually run that. Okay, so I come up here, I say two-stage approval. Okay, I choose my first group of people. I'm going to go ahead and put myself on that, just so you can see that. Okay, and then I choose, let's choose multiple people here. All right, and so then I just start this. As you can see, I'm actually in the detail page of the document. Go ahead and start that. Okay, and here in my workflow, I get another assignment. I went ahead and opened that up in a new thing. Okay, so please approve the document. Okay, from December 3rd. Okay, so I'll go ahead and open that up. I double click on that. I can accept it or refuse it. Okay, I can make a comment. Okay, it's fine. Accept that. All right, and so now I can see that it has moved on to these next people that I selected. Right? Okay. So, okay, this actually has a lot of business processes running on it. Okay, but so that is very briefly the business processes. In the company drive, if you see this hand, that means that the access permissions are expanded, okay, like I did for Victoria here. Okay. As you can see, I'm getting this connect thing, all right? Let's go ahead and connect one of these. You know what? Let's go ahead and do the sales, okay? You know what? The sales is done up here. Okay, so that's one of the important things about the difference between a work group and the main company drive. Okay, in the work group, as you can see, there's a button here that says Make Group Drive Accessible via My Drive. I'm going to hit that button. Okay, and it says, okay, now you can work with the group drive via Bitrix24 Drive. Great. What does that mean? That means that if I go into My Drive, I will see the sales folder, you know, as a synced folder inside My Drive. And now this is especially important because this is how things get to the desktop app. Okay. So that in the company drive, okay, here again, look at this little symbol. In the company drive, I get the same little symbol for each individual folder in the company drive. Okay, if I have access to them. Like I said, I'm an administrator. I have access to all of these. All right, so now if I go up to my drive, I can now access these things from here, which is maybe not such a big deal. But what is a big deal is, let me go ahead and bring this up. What is a big deal is how it fits into the desktop app. Okay, let's, you know what I think I can do? I think I can put my tray here. Okay, this is not highly visible here, but you can see that I've got a little icon here. In fact, I can bring it down here of the Bitrix Drive app. Okay, so this is the desktop app. If I click on that, it brings up this interface. If I right-click on it, okay, I get several options, including Synchronize Now. Okay, so I have set up the Bitrix desktop app to sync with my drive. So if I come in, what that means is that I actually have a folder in my Explorer now, Stephen My Documents Bitrix24, and here, let me go ahead and get rid of that for a moment. And as you can see, I've got shared files, I've got sales, which I just added, okay, marketing material, and all of these things. I suppose if I sort them by name, they should be the same in the same order. No, I'm sorry, I did it the wrong way. Yeah, there. Okay, so now they're in the same order. Common documents, marketing. Okay, so now if I'm offline, I can still get in these. These are synced. This is a, much like Dropbox or whatever else. So I can go ahead and use these. I can also organize these things. It's a lot easier to manipulate files, in the Windows Explorer than in here. Especially if you're doing a large number of operations, very convenient. Okay, so that gives me my file sync. Okay, and I am simply syncing with my drive and with everything else that is in my drive. All right, and so that means I can pull in various folders from work groups, from the company drive, and put it in there. All right, so that is the basic functionality of the file libraries, of the document libraries in Bitrix24. Each drive has its own recycle bin. Okay, so when you delete something, or when you say you want to delete it, it will ask you move to the recycle bin, delete irreversibly, or cancel. Right, so you don't have a you do have the option to remove things, but still have them in the bin and save them if needed. All right, so that is we've talked about documents now. So let's go ahead and move into the desktop app. All right, this interface. Let's make this a bit bigger because we're. You know what? I think I'm gonna clear the whole screen so that we don't have any other anything to distract us here. Okay, so when I open the desktop app, this allows me to access my portal, whatever it is, whether it is a cloud-based or even if it's an on-site Bitrix, by the way, if you have the on-site version of Bitrix24, that can be accessed via the desktop. And it provides me with the chat, okay, with the messenger. It gives me chat. It gives me, here, let's go here and okay, so here's this person. Okay, he had called me. Okay, as you can see, it's got video calls, voice calls. This is for up to 4 people. Okay. Also, the chat, you can pull up the chat history there. Group chat is supported. I can pull people in from here. Okay, so now I've got a group chat. And this also does the little bell is notifications. So these are system notifications and okay, here's a message from a business process from the CRM. I had asked, I'd put in a little workflow that just sends me a message every time a lead gets converted. Okay, here's a task completed type of thing. All right, so system notifications, chat, telephony is built into here. Our telephony and the video chat and various things use WebRTC program technology. Okay, so what that means is in your browser you need to have it support WebRTC, meaning you probably should just use Chrome. If you are not using Chrome and you want to do things like make phone calls and use the video conferencing, the desktop app is the answer. Okay, because this gets around that. You can do video conferencing in the desktop app rather than a browser, because obviously the desktop app supports that same technology. Okay, so here's telephony. I can just start dialing here. Actually, well, no, I guess I'm sorry. I have to use a plus sign there, and then start dialing. The telephony rates are available on our site, and of course that is paid separately from your cloud service. Moving down, so here is the drive. As you can see, it gives me the statistics of usage as far as space is concerned. I've got a terabyte of space because we have this demo is the professional version, and I can also see the most recently updated documents. Now, I've got a lot of documents here simply because I actually did this. I actually installed this new thing today on a new computer. So, if I click on that, what it'll do is it'll pull up my Explorer in the Bitrix24 folder. Okay, and then I can open up that all-purpose doc in my local Microsoft Word. You can edit from here, and you can also edit from the libraries in your local Office suite if you want to, without having to download and upload as well. All right, so that is the that section of that. Now, in the settings, you can set your when what happens when you click a file. Okay, so there you see I had it opened on opening the folder. I can open the file as well. Very important, notifications. You can set what kind of email notifications you will receive from your Bitrix24 from here. Okay, so you can in the simple mode you can just say I just don't want any emails. Just don't give me any emails. Done. End of story. Or you can come in here and say, okay, I do want emails there. I don't there. I do there. I don't want that. inside the site or not. So, and then as you can see inside, there are also general settings for the messenger, the chat and the internal calls. This button will take you to the activity stream in your browser. Okay, so that goes to the activity stream of your Bitrix24 in the browser. And then if you want to log out and log in as a different user, use that. There is another tab here for the Bitrix24 network. This is a chat this is external. This is a chat and video conferencing tool that actually goes through the network. I don't have any context, but what this means is in your cloud, as you know, when you first signed up for Bitrix24 Cloud, you created an account, an individual account on the Bitrix24 network, and then you logged into the Bitrix24 that belongs to your company or yourself personally. So this allows you to communicate with other people in the network outside of your company. So here we have the company, and here we have the general Bitrix24 network. Okay, so that really covers it for the desktop app. I'll go ahead and answer some questions now. So I'm going to